Welcome back. Thanks for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Fever Play the Sky later for those of you that are interested, which seems to be what most of my channel has turned into. You'll have to start checking out the other sports videos when I'm doing them. But I wanted to dig in one more time to this whole Caitlin Clark not on the Olympic team nonsense. And I want to focus specifically on the guards with a comparison regarding specific things that they say Caitlin just isn't very good at, right? You get the turnovers, obviously, over and over again. Explain that in another video. We also get, well, she's only shooting, whatever it is, 33% from three or all this other nonsense. Now, look, she's the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 250 points and 100 assists. She's the first rookie in WNBA history to average 16 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists over any 4 game span ever, which is what she's averaging in the 4 game win streak. Teams have been scheming against her like she is the greatest player to ever play in the WNBA. You see the face guarding behind the ball, the face guarding when she's standing in the corner. It's crazy. And then when it came out with when the Olympic Committee came out with the roster, and then they realized they had to defend it, and they started scrambling, and you got the whole rookie nonsense, which was ridiculous, and then Diana Taurasi comes out with her whole incredibly arrogantly delivered she won I won 3 championships in college thing to defend why she made the team as a rookie, despite very similar stats to Caitlin Clark. We destroyed that in another video. I mean, Diana Taurasi played at Connecticut when there were no other women's college programs for the most part. She played with people like #1 overall pick and Hall of Famer Sue Bird. So, it was a team effort, DT. But anyway, then it shifted to, well, despite part of the committee's job saying grow the game, they ignored that and started talking about how it's winning a gold medal and the growing the game doesn't matter. And then it became, well, she might not play a lot and that would upset Caitlin Clark's fans, as if not putting her on the team at all wouldn't upset them. And then there was the whole best team excuse. Caitlin Clark may be the most unselfish player and best passer in the league who makes everyone on her team better. If the team isn't as good with her on it, that says a whole lot about all of the other players, not Caitlin Clark, and none of what it says about them is good. So maybe the committee and everyone else around the WNBA needs to start thinking about that issue. Anyway, let's dig in, okay, because this drives me crazy. So couple of things I wanted to look at was what we call points per shot for players, basically their productivity for the shots that they take, as well as total shooting percentage, which is, values the three a little more because obviously is more points, and you also include free throws in there as well. So those numbers are going to be very similar most of the time. If you're better with one, you're going to be better with the other, but not necessarily. But we'll look at the other numbers too. We'll look at some of the other numbers too. So let's check it out. Caitlin Clark, 1.3 points per shot taken. Okay. Oh, and by the way, this does not include last game. I was gathering all these numbers, so every team might have played one more game, but it really doesn't matter because even if someone else had a good game, it doesn't change it that much. And Caitlin Clark last game had a good game, right? So we know because as you see, I have 99 assists on here, and she has over 100 now. But so Caitlin Clark, 1.3 points per shot. Her total shooting percentage is 56.9%. Assist to turnovers, 99 to 88. Okay, averaging 16.3 points, 5.5 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 1.4 blocks, 1.4 steals, and zero point 0.9 something blocks. On a team that was only 13 and 37 last year, is now 7 and 10. Okay, Jackie Young, Olympic guard, 1.23 points per game, which is lower. Points per shot, sorry. TS, 55%. Now, these are still good numbers, right? Assist to turnover. There she is very solid. 72 assists, only 31 turnovers. Averaging 19 points a game. As you see in the points per shot, She's taking more shots to get that. She's not as efficient. 4.9 rebounds, fewer than Clark, 6 assists. It's a wash, slightly fewer. 1 steal, fewer. Zero point 0.3 blocks, fewer. She's on the Las Vegas Aces, who were 7-6 when I did this. They just won. They're now 8-6, but it is one of the most talented teams in the league. They were 34-6 last year. Sabrina Ionescu, 1.2 points per shot, a TS of 54.5%, both lower. Does have a good assist to turnover ratio of 91-44. 17.7 points per game, again, not as efficient. 4.5 rebounds fewer, 6.1 assists, slightly fewer, but it's a wash. 1.1 steal, basically it's 0.4 blocks on a team that is now 13-3. They were 12-3 when I did this. Best or second best team in the league. Kalia Cooper, who's actually a copper, is actually a guard forward. Pretty good, 1.29. Not quite Caitlin, but it's pretty. TS 56.9%, same as Caitlin. 23.5 points per game. She's obviously taking a lot more shots. 4.4 rebounds, which is fewer. 2.4 assists, which is a lot fewer. 1.1 steals, which is fewer. 1.1 blocks, basically even. But guess what? She actually has a negative assist to turnover ratio at 37.49 on a winning team, the Mercury. 8-7. They might have played a game since, I'm not sure. Kelsey Plum, 1.12 points per shot, much lower. TS of 51.2%. Her assist to turnover is very good, however. 18.2 points per game, obviously not nearly as productive, so she's shooting more. 1.8 rebounds, not even close. 4.9 assists, almost 1.5 fewer per game. 0.8 steals, half a steal fewer just about. No blocks all season long. Compared to Caitlin's 15, which I think is now 16. Again, on one of the best teams in the league, the Aces, who are only 8-6, but it's a team that was 34-6 last year. Let's move on to Jewell Loyd. We've got two more. Jewell Loyd, 1.04 points per game, not even close. A low TS of 45.3%. Solid assist to turnovers, 56-35. 18.5 points per game, which we know is just a lot more shots. 5.5 rebounds. That's fewer, or is that's basically a wash, right? Yeah, that's 5.5. Sorry, I was thinking of what she's been doing the last few games. 3.7 assists, that's low. 1.3 steals, basically a wash. 0.3 blocks. Look, she only shoots, and I point this out because of that average with but her PPS, only 33.7% from the field, 24.1% from three. And on the team second best in the West, Seattle Storm 9-6. Taurasi 1.2, lower. TS 54.3. I mean, it's decent, right? I'm not saying it's bad, but it's lower. Assisted turnovers 32.25. Not exactly great, is it? 16.9 points per game. She shoots a little more. 5 rebounds, solid. 2 assists. She never gets assists. She's on a decent team with other scorers. So 0.5 steals, that's lower. 0.3 blocks, that's lower. Again, on the Phoenix Mercury with a winning record. Now, I want to check because this is the other shift, right? When we started talking about when the Olympic roster came out and people who didn't really want Clark on it, they would go, oh, well, wait, what about Arike Agambale? She should be on it. Okay. Her TPS is 1.09. Her, her TS is under 50, 48.3%. Her assisted turnover is not bad, 65-45. So that scoring average, which looks really good at 24.9, that's because she shoots a lot. She's not nearly as efficient as Caitlin Clark. 4.9 rebounds, that's fewer. 5.4 assists, that's fewer. She's a good defender in the steals category with 2.9, doesn't block shots. Look, 35.4% from the field, only 31.4% from three. She is also, though, on a bad team. So, and then I just want to go with two more. Don't play the same position, but this is just to give you an idea because you hear about this a lot. Look, Aja Wilson is probably the best player in the league right now. Uh, Not the most valuable, but the best. The only one with a points per shot higher than Caitlin Clark's at 1.42 because she has a TS of 60.1%, a turnover Assisted turnovers, okay, 34 and 20. She doesn't do really much of either on a really good team. Again, the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces have four players on the Olympic team. Four of the 12 players on the Olympic team come from one team. And then everyone wants to compare to Angel Reese, right? Who's 1.12 points per shot despite taking all layups. Her TS is only 46%. Assisted turnovers is basically dead. 27-25. It's basically a wash. She doesn't turn the ball over a lot. She also doesn't get any assists. And look, those numbers, to both of those numbers should be a lot lower, obviously, than a Caitlin Clark because Angel Reese plays in the post. So I'm not saying the totals are equivalent, and her team hasn't been playing that great either. But I just wanted to roll through those numbers to give you another perspective on how well Caitlin Clark is actually playing. And that, yeah, she very much did deserve a spot on the Olympic team because you could note that in some ways she's better than every single guard on the team, right? This was not the obvious decision that the Olympic Committee and the WNBA and everyone involved in this wanted you to believe, which is why their story kept shifting in terms of their excuses. Because to come out with something and then somebody would say, well, wait, that doesn't make sense. What about this? And then they would have to shift their story again. Um, it's not anymore. I think she got some heat, but the coach of the Olympic team is the coach of the Minnesota Lynx, who early in the season it was clear she didn't like Caitlin Clark. She'd made a number of tweets about how the WNBA is not one woman, and then she also made a tweet about it how it was difficult to find the Lynx game, and there was an app you could go to, throwing shade at the fact that the Indiana Fever were on TV, but the Lynx weren't. And then until very recently, because she got a lot of backlash for that, she had actually made her Twitter account private, which is kind of odd for the head coach of a professional basketball team. But yeah, she did that. So anyway, for all of you who are fans of Caitlin Clark and you tired of hearing the nonsense, here's another bunch of a lot of information for you that you can use if you want to get into those discussions. I'm going to leave it there. Look, she should be an Olympian. She's should be on the not just the All-Star team, but the end of the year, the All WNBA team. That's just the way it is. People can continue to be in denial and scream turnovers or low shooting percentage from three, which, as I've shown here, is actually nonsense. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. This got longer than I thought. Apologies. But if you are enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you later.